When thinking about roses, most people picture hybrid teas, shrub roses, or the ones that fall in between, which, in my opinion, leaves out some of the easiest, low-maintenance options that are perfect for the busy gardener hoping to plant it and leave it alone. Hey plant lovers, it's Whit with naturehills.com, and I'm talking all things Rugosa Roses today. Featuring larger petals, grand size, hefty, intense fragrance, and a fall display of showy rose hips, these cold-hardy, flower-powered workers are able to be planted in coastal gardens and have a long-lasting display of summer to fall flowers that are pollinator-friendly and rose hips that feed the birds. Really, Rugosa roses have it all. Rugosa can sometimes sucker and form thickets if you let them. The canes can be heavily lined with thorns, making these bushes less alluring to deer and trespassers. The highly scented roses are great in bouquets, and the rose hips are too. The hips are high in vitamin C, so if you're feeling crafty, dry them for tea or use them in jams, jellies, and more. Rugosa roses are incredibly easy to grow, adaptable, hardy, and versatile. Give these roses a place in full sun, and they appreciate good air circulation. Ideally, plant these in well-drained soil that is enriched, but Rugosa roses are able to grow in poor soil and harsh conditions. They're drought tolerant once established, but to get the most flowers and to keep your roses stress-free, give them regular waterings during the high heat spells and droughts. And now, on to our 5 favorite Rugosa roses on the market. Number 5. White Rugosa Rose. The big, fragrant, single-petaled flowers of the White Rugosa Rose have leafy green, rounded forms that can reach 4 to 6 feet in height and 4 to 5 feet wide. Very cold-hardy down to zone 2 and up to 7, these roses are impressive barrier plantings, backdrops, and incredible for pollinators. Fall brings ornate, shiny rose hips that can be yellow, orange, and red. Tolerant of a wide range of climates, white rugosas are free-flowering with a classic wild rose look and adaptable to modern landscapes, formal plantings, or informal country styles. Number 5. White Rugosa Rose. Growing zones 2 through 7, red, orange, and yellow rose hips in the fall, great in coastal gardens and cold hardy. Number 4. Pink Rugosa Rose. Our number 4 pick is known as the salt spray rose due to its adaptability to salt and very dry, sandy soil. The lipstick pink flowers are very fragrant, pollinator, and hummingbird friendly, and these flowers become shiny red hips up to an inch each. This looker is a favorite to use as a hedge, backdrop, and barrier planting. The salt tolerance of this rugosa makes it a great street planting or great in rock gardens. Number 4. Pink Rugosa Rose. Growing zones 3 through 9. Native with a high adaptability to salt, heat, and cold tolerant. Grows 4 to 6 feet tall and 4 to 8 feet wide and works in full sun or partial shade. Number 3. TerzBnet Rose. The TerzBnet Rugosa Rose is a double rugosa with old-fashioned ruffled red-violet to soft pale pink flowers that are highly fragrant with a classic rose scent. Flowering from June until frost, TerzBnet has blue-green leaves. Its foliage then turns red in the fall, with the canes following soon after for the winter. For added interest, the rose hips stay on display during the cold months as well. This rugosa is ideal for naturalizing, seasonal screenings, and sheltering birds as it stays fully leafy and densely filled to the ground. Plus, TerzBnet grows on its own root, giving it an advantage in cold climates. Number 3. TerzBnet Rugosa Rose. Growing zones 3 through 8. 5 to 7 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide, grown on its own root, fragrant, red fall color with canes in the winter, and red rose hips. Number 2. Bpavine Rugosa Rose. Soft antique pink double blooms, the Bpavine hybrid Rugosa Rose flowers all summer until frost with 4-inch blooms that are very fragrant. These vigorous growers are highly adaptable and easygoing plants for a carefree landscape. It's hardy, and the foliage is resistant to mildew, rust, and black spot. In the fall, the foliage turns yellow and orange, accented perfectly by large orange-red rose hips. Number 2. Bpavine Rugosa Rose. Growing zones 3 through 7, highly disease-resistant, grown on its own root, fragrant, with orange-red hips, 4 to 5 feet tall and just 2 to 3 feet wide. And number 1. Hanah Hybrid Rugosa Rose. Hot pink double flowers, the Hanah Hybrid Rugosa Rose has silky petals and a heavenly, sweet, spicy, intense scents. Blooming all summer long, this old-fashioned looking rose is backed by hybrid resistance and adaptability. Hanah Rose is winter hardy, disease-resistant, and tolerant of a variety of soils. Hanah Rose is winter hardy, disease-resistant, and tolerant of a variety of soils. As an upright growing, multi-stemmed deciduous shrub growing 4 to 6 feet tall and wide, these are fantastic to use as privacy screens or hedges along the driveway. Its green leaves transform orange in the fall and are accompanied by showy rose hips. Number 1, Hanah hybrid Rugosa Rose. Growing zones 3 through 7, huge hot fuchsia pink flowers, intensely fragrant, disease resistant, and tolerant of a variety of soils. So what do you think of the Rugosa Roses? Do they have a place in your garden? Let me know your favorites down in the comments, and as always, if you'd like to see more options, head on over to naturehills.com. We have a ton of information on how to best care for roses, rugosas, and others on our #ProPlantTip blog. I'll link to some helpful articles and resources down below in the description. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to our YouTube channel. For more garden info and inspo, check out our Facebook, Instagram, X, and Pinterest pages. And until next time, happy planting!